taking away your property rights without due process of law, and abridging your right to trial by jury. Let me tell you about a lady. She's a wonderful woman. Not somebody that you consider highly educated, but somebody who worked hard all her life for what she had. She had 2 sons. One was autistic. The other young man was out on his own. So she took care of this autistic boy, and he was about 25 years old. She had a little pain in her back after cooking some gumbo for New Year's, and she thought, well, I might have stretched a muscle or something. Well, she goes to the emergency room. Her white cell is up. She's got a chest x-ray that indicates some sort of little finding in the chest area, and she is discharged home and said, you're fine. You just have a little strain, little problem in your back muscles. And she was sent to a hand surgeon. She came back a week later, the same complaints. This time, the CAT scan that was done was requested by the original doctor that read the chest x-ray, was done. And that CAT scan showed a abscess in her back the size of a 2-liter Coke bottle.
Oh my goodness.
It was so large that when she laid on the gurney into the CAT scan machine, she looked like she was laying on a pillow. The doctor, who was not even in the hospital that read this, he was far away, hundreds of miles away, read this on what they call teleradiology, never saw the lady, said, there's nothing there. And she was sent home. 3 weeks later, she comes in, nearly dead. They debride her, which means they cut out parts and throw them away, and she dies horribly here, right here in Houston, Texas,
Terrible.
leaving that orphan alone with nobody to take care of her. When we brought that case, actually it was referred to us, the referring attorney asked for the records. Now, good doctors that analyze cases like the gentleman that I met today, that I believe you interviewed, look carefully at those records to determine whether there's a problem or not. Well, they're not going to testify about a case if it's not in the records. Well, think about that. What's the trick? Get rid of the records. So when we got this, the chest x-ray was not there, the CBC was not there, indicating a high white cell count. The information in regard to the fact that she had a problem in regard to an abscess was not in the record. We didn't even get the second hospitalization where the MRI was run and CAT scan. Had any other lawyer looked at this, and even my doctor and my nurse, both of whom worked for DeBakey and did heart transplants here in Houston, they're smart people, did not pick up the fact that a CBC was run, but it just wasn't in the chart. I luckily found it. We then began to ask the hospital, where are these records? And lo and behold, they had them in the risk management department. And they sent them to us, and lo and behold, we got the chest x-ray, we got the CBC, which indicated an infection, we got the MRI, and I have a photograph of this now through the MRI. We are in litigation, and the defendants came up and said, well, your referring lawyer just didn't figure it out within 2 years tough that statutes run. But we have a good judge who said, let me ask you a question. You didn't give him the records. You hid the fact that this happened. You hid the defendants from him, and you're asking me to find the statute of limitations is run? He said, not in my court, not in this state, never.
I wish all judges were like that, I tell you.
So that's an example of just one case of problematic litigation in the state of Texas regarding medical negligence litigation.
How many years did that take to get that case to judge and jury?
The case is still pending. This case is 3 years old in our office, and hopefully we'll get it to trial this year.
Well, we've got a couple of minutes left, but in that, I wanted to finish up with medical malpractice. Then we're going to lead into product liability. But is there a message you want to tell people, not just in Texas, but out there nationwide, about medical negligence?
Yes, I do. Doctors are great people. They are being squeezed on every end in medical work today. The insurance companies not only treat the patients poorly, but they treat the doctors poorly. The money is going to the bureaucrats within the insurance company. 25 to 30% of the money that's paid in insurance premiums goes to the insurance company bureaucracy. Go to your doctors. Make sure they understand what is wrong with you. Keep a copy of your records. Make sure somebody's there in the hospital to assist you if at all possible, because the nurses are busy and they get tired too. This will prevent, hopefully, somebody making a mistake because they're not there and not available for you. As far as if there's a problem, seek out legal advice immediately. Don't wait. Records are lost. People's memories fade. And there is a 2-year statute of limitations on medical negligence cases in the state of Texas.
Well, and we've got a minute left, but I want to underline that if you do have a question, they can reach you at 713-626-3700. And your main office here, Houston, Texas, 1990 Post Oak Boulevard. How about an email? We're going to put that out there. Where can they go to the website to learn more about your law firm?
They can go to my email address, which is Houssiere, or CHOUSSIERE at HDHTex.com, like Houssiere, Durant, Houssiere, Texas.
And we're going to be putting that up on our screen here and at the end, and make sure that they get that number and that website. Ladies and gentlemen, we've got 30 seconds left. I'd like to take a break just to thank our sponsors, and thank you for letting us sponsoring it, to have it up here in your law library. You have a lovely office up here. And don't forget Rhodes-Vela.com, as well as Chapa Navares, and also Impact Credit Group USA and Vasquez Flores Home Health. Almost forgot about that, taking care of patients out there. And remember, medical malpractice, it affects everyone. We all pay. And by limiting caps is not the solution. It's limiting how the insurance companies deal with patients and giving back control to doctors. So we're going to come back in our second half. I hope you can stick with us, Charles. I'm anxious to talk about product liability. Stay tuned for our second segment when we come back.